So on page 25, we have at least 4 essential meanings of rupa. Form and matter. 1.2. Can you see? 1.2. There's this very famous living scholar, Sinhalese scholar, layman, Karuna Dasa. It's quite strange with the Sinhalese Buddhists. The better scholars are the lay scholars. The monks, their PhDs, after that they forget all their. But these lay scholars, somehow they are really serious and they write good stuff and they teach good stuff too. So Karuna Dasa is one of those very serious scholars of Abhidhamma. And he's famous for his book on the analysis of matter. Can you imagine he got his PhD on just rupa, okay? So according to this book, it says there are 4 aspects. This is found in the Pali Canon, Pali Sutras. Number 1, form, rupa meaning form, very general meaning of form. 2, whatever is visible. Okay, look at the Pali word, rupa yatana. Rupa ayatana. Here ayatana means base. Basis, base. B-A-S-E, base. Base, basis, ayatana. Ayatana also means sense. Our physical senses, or more technically we translate them as sense base. For example, the base or basis for seeing, right? Chakku ayatana, what's that? It's the eye. So here, what the basis for visibility? Number 2, what allows us to see things? That's form. Number 2, what is visible? Rupa yatana. The language is already quite scientific here, right? It's not. If you read the Vedas and you listen to the Hindu gurus talk, you find their words are very colorful. Whereas here, the Buddha is special because, yes, he uses a lot of words, but it's very clear. He defines it and repeats the definition. Next, number 3, as a sentient realm. Okay, here you have a realm. Realm avachara. Rupa Dhatu or Rupa Avachara. So you got Dhatu and you got Avachara. These 2 words are also used to mean a world. Dhatu simply means element, as you can see the 4 elements, which we'll look at afterwards. It also means world, Loka Dhatu. In fact, if we say Loka Dhatu, we normally refer to a galaxy, universe. So the idea of galaxy is already there in Buddhism. Rupa Vachara, Rupa plus Avachara. Avachara comes from the root word chara, charati meaning to go. You see, ava, where else can you remember meeting this prefix ava? Avalokiteswara, right? Avalokiteswara, Kuan Yin Sanskrit name. Avalokiteswara. One meaning of Avalokiteswara, Avaloketi means to look down. Look down in a physical sense. Because Kuan Yin as compassion is often depicted as from high up. And from a vantage point, you look down, see who needs help. So Avalokita. So, but here, we have Ava, and then plus Chara. Okay? You have to be careful about the long spellings. Okay. So, Ava Chara. Chara, Charati meaning to go. In Malay, you got the word Chara. Same word. So, Ava Chara is something like going down. Going down means you're caught up in this world. Okay? So avachara means realm, or world. Okay? So there are many words for world. Here avachara refers especially to a realm of beings. Here refers to three worlds: form world, sense world, rupavachara. Kamavachara, sense world, and then rupavachara, form world, and then arupavachara, formless world. These are called the 3 worlds. So here we got rupavachara, rupadhatu, rupavachara. Form, the world of form. But the interesting thing here is, this form world doesn't refer to our world. Here, sometimes some scholars translate this as something like refined. The form is very refined. So this one is something like refined material form. So it's not the kind of form that you see. In other words, now we go deeper into the concept of form. Light is also regarded as form. Very scientific, right? So even movement is regarded as form. So you can begin to see now that you've got to be very careful how you define form. So anyway, here this form refers to the second level of the three worlds. This is a level of deep meditation, jhana. Okay, form. So, as a sentient realm, these beings live there. And the fourth meaning, it is a meditation level, rupa jhana. Rupa jhana. There you are. The beings that live in the rupa world are in a joyful state of rupa jhana. Okay, so these are the four meanings, okay, basic meanings. So here, according to Karunadasa, it says you've got the generic meaning, rupa as form. You've got the specific meaning, what is visible, rupayatana. You've got the cosmological, as a rupa dhatu or rupa vachara, as a realm in the universe. And as a psychological mental state, which is rupa jhana. So in Buddhism, in meditation anyway, you don't have to physically go to heaven to experience it. You can experience it right now here in your body and mind through your meditation. Okay? So next page.
Sorry, can you stop there? You said Kama Avachara, Rupa Avachara. What's the third one?
Arupa avachara. Arupa.
Arupa.
A, R, and then the U with the acronym.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the long R, the A with the character.
Avachara, which means?
Formless.
Formless.
Okay.
Arupa.
So page 26, Rupa is typically defined as the four elements. Okay, now we come to this topic. Rupa, the four aspects. Earth, water, fire, wind. Now I can tell you this philosophy spread throughout the ancient world, right to the west, to the Dark Ages in Europe. In fact, some people said that during the Dark Ages, during the time of Robin Hood, many of the Christian practices show some kind of Buddhist influence. They have something called mystery play, showing suffering, good, evil, you know. And these are things not very Christian. So now you don't see them anymore. So all these things have changed after a while. In fact, there's a time when even the Catholic Church worshipped the Buddha. Yes, the Buddha was canonized as Saint Josaphat. Of course, now you won't see him anymore because they discovered, oops, it's a mistake.
Canonized as who?
Saint Josaphat, I think so, November 12th.
Yes.
Because once here, you know, that every day we were having
I mentioned last time.
Yeah, I know, you mentioned this every year.
Was it 23?
23, is it? Religions often make embarrassing mistakes, and then they quietly just switch it around. Fortunately, in Buddhism, we don't have, not only Buddhism, but later Buddhism have not such mistakes. And I'm trying to gently write these things so that I don't upset too many people. Many of these reflections are found in the black book called Revisioning Buddhism. The 1934 edition of the Merriam-Webster Dictionary has a classic error, the greatest error in the history of lexicography. I must tell you that it's very interesting. This is somebody, one of the chemistry editors submitted a slip. Slip is an entry. He wrote like this. So this is the information below. Let's say D or D continued density. So the message here is, please enter this big D or small d. The short form in the glossary means density. Somehow the message went to the wrong hands, and this person read it as D-O-R-D. You know, big D or small d, he read it as capital D-O-R-D. So they entered the word D-O-R-D. And then pronunciation given, and then usage, physics and chemistry, meaning density. And this was in this dictionary for 5 years before another editor, he was going to put in the etymology, origin of the word. He was searching all over the origin of D-O-R-D, no such etymology. Then he has to investigate, go back, where it came from, and to his embarrassment, somebody made a mistake. It's just like once in the Bible, somebody printed in one of the commandments, thou shalt commit adultery. They dropped the knot. So they got to recall the tradition. So I told myself, this is interesting, the dot, you know. And after that, after 5 years, discovered it, so they have to delete it. But you have a problem when you delete it, you know, because you got to start pushing out all the pages and this big volume. So what they did was they removed, there's only 2 lines there, and then they extended the definition of the next word, D-O-R-D, you know, and they expanded it. So this is something really interesting. So here, to me, a dot is something we simply introduce, especially a new idea in Buddhism, you know, which has no basis in truth. And because of our standing as a guru or teacher or monk or whatever, scholar, and people accept it as true also. And one thing leads to another. And one such idea is the Tathagata Garpa, the Buddha seed. But this idea is not taught by Buddha, it's very new. And it's you've got to be very careful. It's like a bridge for the soul idea. It's very close to the idea of an abiding soul. So these are things you've got to watch out. Okay? So, you see, the test of religion is you can question it, tear it apart, and it still exists. The religion is true with them, you know. Because if you tear it apart, it fails, then too bad. So you can test, question Buddhism. You find ultimately, you can't destroy it, you can't destroy the truth. But what you destroy are the falsities. So as Buddhists, we should not be afraid to question these wrong things, unless people have an interest in protecting all these ideas. This was what happened in the Song dynasty. People really created all kinds of thoughts for their own groups. So it's a very fascinating period to study. So when we look at metta, we also tend to create ideas and we see outside of us. So this is where we have to be very careful. So we'll come to this point, psychological point again later. Let's go back to page 26. When the Buddha talks about the body, he always talks about the conscious body. We look at the middle of the paragraph at the top. Savinyanaka kaya. This body endowed with consciousness. Okay? So you got the body, physical form, and then the mind. Can you see that? Savinyanaka kaya. Okay. And then the reference, not 7, tell you where to look it up. Okay. So all this is read on your own. There are lots of stuff here. Some are quite advanced. Now in the Kajaniya Sutta, S32.79, the Buddha defines form. And what bhikshus do you call form? It is transformed or molested bhikshus, therefore it is called form. Okay, here it sounds funny in English, but look at the Pali. 12, not 12. Rupatiti. Tasma rupanti vichati. Okay? So here's how the Indians form words. First they get the verb rupati, and then from rupati you get rupa. From the verb you get noun. Okay? Transformed or molested by cold, transformed by heat, transformed by hunger, transformed by thirst, transformed by the touch of flies, mosquitoes, wind, sun, and serpents. It is transformed, bhikshus, therefore it is called form. Right? So we have this physical body. This is very troubling. Why are devas happy beings? Because they don't have this kind of body. Pure energy. Okay? So this now scholars today they have much better idea of the nature of form and so on. So here you see on page 27, this is purely a scholarly observation. The local Asian monks, this Walpolo Rahura, wrote something about form. But then modern scholars who study the suttas more carefully, they criticize it. They say his observation is too scholarly, not text-based. So this modern scholar called Sue Hamilton, who specializes in the five decades, she gives a more sutta-based definition. I think this is how scholars can criticize others. It's very interesting if you're interested in critical Buddhism, just for information. So what I'm saying here is, even as Buddhists, we have to be very careful when we talk about important subjects like the five decades. You've got to know your sources well, quote them properly, interpret them properly. Don't assume people out there do not know, because they will know and then they will criticize you, challenge you. Okay. Of course, it's okay to challenge us, but the point is, it's better to be right. So what I'm saying is, people today, especially Western scholarship, they're studying the Buddhist text very well, very carefully. Right? Now we come to the four elements. Page 27, four elements. 27 period, you can see lots of diagrams. Earth, water, fire, wind. Very similar to the modern conception of Earth is what? Solidity, right? Very close parallel to the scientific conception of solidity. And then water is liquidity, fire is heat, and the wind is ionization, things like that. Plasma, that's what we call plasma. You know, within my own lifetime, about 30, 40 years ago, scientists were still talking only 3 states of matter, but now they are more sure of 4 states of matter. So there I'm using some scientific diagrams to help us understand the Buddhist conception. But these diagrams are useful. I'm not saying they are the same things, you know. I'm just using this diagram for you to mentally picture. For example, if you look at matter, you have this solid, so the bonds are very strong, very stable, you see. And then you have liquid. So liquid, the bonds are weaker, so more fluid, move around. And then gas. So gas has no bonds at all, so floating, what you call, molecules and so on. And then you have this, the last one, wind. You have this ionization. In other words, they are electrically charged particles. So very interesting. You begin to see Buddhism does not quarrel with science. Okay? And of course, if, as the Dalai Lama said, if science has proven anything wrong in Buddhism, we will go by updating that particular wrong observation. So we're not afraid to change. But those things that we change are worldly stuff. They are not followable truths or things of meditation, for example. So, remember, these 4 elements, they are not separate states, they are not things. They are phases of our existence, aspects of our existence. And they are kind of interacting all the time, very fluid, very mobile, very uncertain. Take a rock, for example. Rock is mostly earth, rain mostly water, word mostly very important. Fire is heat, mostly heat, and then the atmosphere is mostly air. Right? So you see the 4 elements around us. And then you see another diagram, how, in terms of compactness, right? Table 1, 3.1b, the 4 phases of states of matter. And then there are science, you can see the T2, 3.2 phases of water. So this shows, for example, you take ice. Ice is earth element, so to speak, solid, right? And then it melts, becomes water. And then you boil it, it becomes a steam, right? Okay, so you've got 3 steps of method. And of course, if you go on dividing it up, it goes back to its natural elements. So earth, water, fire, wind. But the Buddhist definition of these 4 elements, earth means resistance. Resistance, that's the word to remember in meditation. For example, as I'm sitting here, what are the earth elements in my body? One famous meditator says, okay, you use your tongue tip, you push against your upper row of teeth, the back of your upper row of teeth, you can feel your teeth hardness, right? That's earth element. In fact, even when you bite your teeth, you can feel the hardness, that's earth element. Now, as can you notice earth element? As you sit in the chair, you can feel your body weight pressing down on the chair, or the chair supporting your weight, earth element. Your feet are placed on the ground, you can feel the ground resisting you, earth element. That resistance. And then when your hands you put together, you can feel the contact points, earth element. So earth element, heaviness, lightness, roughness, smoothness, these are all aspects of earth elements. Okay? Then water element, saliva, right? So you feel the saliva in your mouth, it's water element. And then your whole body, mostly water. Here water is not just H2O, it's just a traditional term referring to fluidity in your body, or the Buddhist psychological term is cohesion, cohesiveness. Your body is held together. It's very easy to remember this. You know, flour for making bread is earth element. You use water, you sprinkle water on it, and then you mix it up, it becomes dough. The water element holds the flour together. Yeah? So that's water element in our body. And then the fire element is our body too. You can feel on your arms. Cold also included in this. So some like temperature.